This is the Kevin Sutton Show.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello?
And we are doing good. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? All right.
All right. For those who don't know that voice, this is Mr. Bob Burnquist. Bob, welcome to the Kevin Sutton Show. How are you?
Hey, thank you. Good. There's just some voice out there.
Yeah.
Out here early in the morning.
Thank you for getting up for us. You know,
No problem.
We're very honored to have you on our show because we're all about extreme sports and action sports. And to say that we didn't grow up playing you on the Tony Hawk game, watching you.
Wait, did you
man.
just say playing him? That is not cool at all, man. That's not
Why
cool
you
at
playing
all.
me, man? Come on.
But
That's cool. Well, if I got a quarter for every time I heard that.
you'd be a multimillionaire.
Yes, and,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. It's great.
Now, a lot of our fans are huge fans of yours, and I'm sure you know some of them. We have Mr. Adam Taylor out of California, who had the chance to ride that big
You got to
ramp.
say his name right. Adam Bomb Taylor.
Adam
you can't
Bomb
just say
Taylor.
Adam.
Yeah.
And another good friend of ours.
Alex Sargente.
These guys, yeah. These guys, I mean, they talk about you so much, including Chad Tepper. I don't know if you remember Chad, who did some.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, these guys couldn't believe that you were coming on the Kevin Sutton Show. But first of all, we want to say, wow, your background is impressive. We're talking, you've been in every X Games since the beginning.
Yes.
And you host, 12 gold medals?
I don't know. Maybe 14? Maybe 13?
Because the last count we got was 12 gold, 7 silver, and 8 bronze.
Something like that. I know I
Yeah.
have 30 of them. 30 medals. So however you break that down. I
Start
don't know
losing
what
count.
that is.
There's that platinum level.
No,
Yeah.
your life has been completely an uphill battle coming into the sports, especially extreme sports as a whole, doesn't get the acknowledgement as it should in the sports industry. But where you come in, taking people by far, the entertainment factor, the wow factor of the mega ramp. Like street skating is awesome, and I like to see it. I love you. There's a video of this kid going around right now. It's like a 12-year-old kid. He's amazing. Look at him go. But like, there's nothing like someone flying in the air, 40 feet up on top of another 60 feet up in the air. Like it's completely crazy. But I think all people outside of action sports enthusiasts, just the general public, loves to watch the X Games and what actually gets to happen out there, and especially when you put the mega ramp involved and it gets bigger and bigger, and it seems like it's scary. Do you remember back 2012 during the time that you got hurt? Yeah, that stopped my heart, man. When you're dropping from midair,
I remember that very well.
Oh, I'm sure you do. And all I could say is, like, looking at it, what was the first thought that went through your mind when you were in the air and you like completely frolicking it nowhere?
Well, the thing with skateboarding and the thing with doing what we do and at that level and going that fast and with that high risk, there's a lot of factors that are going on. And, it's like, I remember that day was windy. I was off. I had a lot of things going on, and my mind was everywhere. I should have kind of held back and like waited and skated the next day. Starting to I was like temperamental. Sometimes when I get a little, it's like there's so much pressure. Oh, this is happening, and then you got to, be at that and do that morning show interview, and then so you get into all this thing in your head. And I remember going, wait, I shouldn't be skating, but maybe I'll take a couple more runs. And I went, and it just felt like as soon as I took off, I could tell it was wrong. I was way into the deck, and there was nowhere. I mean, the thing with going that high and that and you're going that fast, it takes a long time for the slam and the pain to come. It's coming, but it's like, okay, a few seconds before you feel it. And I could feel I could see the deck coming, and I remember I tried to get out of it, and I just couldn't, and I ended up hitting that cox bone or whatever, that bone in the back of the, like kind of the pelvis area. And I
booty bone. That's what you ain't no doctor, man.
Bone.
Don't be a doctor. The booty bone.
That was like, it was like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to feel that again. I felt like I broke my back. I felt like all this stuff. It was like tingly, and it was like, okay, I'm out. There's no way. Like I can't even walk. It was like wheelchair to the place and X-ray and everything. And the contest was 3 days later. And I was just like, okay, I don't know, what can I do to even skate? I mean, I hurt my foot, I hurt my back. There was like so many things going on. And I just kept going. I was like, well, call my guy over, the physical therapist, and we just worked at it, and and on and on and on. I was able to skate the event. I was like, okay, I can skate. Really painful, and all of a sudden I land my runs, and then I win. And then I'm just like,
insane. That is insane.
It doesn't make any sense.
Woke up the next day. No, it doesn't. And talking about it and living through it in my head here, I'm going like, I still don't know how I went down, because I woke up the next day, I couldn't even walk. I tried to get out of bed. There was no walking going on whatsoever. I was in the vert contest as well, but that was it. I gave it all I could, for that particular event. And it seems like every year something's going on. Last year I broke my wrist.
Yeah.
And there's years before and something happened. So there's always pain attached to all this. And there's the glory, but the pain is there.
Unfortunately, maybe you don't know that you do a very extreme sport, so injuries go along with it. I'm just trying to help you out. I fell out of the bed.
I slam and bail every time. I'm in pain constantly. I got something going on with my left foot, something going on with my right foot.
Yeah.
Everything else is good, but something's going on somewhere, somehow.
All right, so Bob, I've got to bug you, because this year Intel returns to the X Games in Austin, and they're coming out with the Curie model?
Yes, the Curie Module. Yep.
All right, you want to tell us a little bit about that and how it's going to be different for this year?
Yeah, I will. Over the years, I mean, obviously, we've had height-o-meters, and you kind of go, oh, he's going this high, or and someone came out with a radar gun and was like, oh, he's going this fast, and there was never really a device that you kind of tell how many spins, or even how hard you're hitting. I mean, I have the pain device in my head that's like, oh, that hit hard and that hurt, But other than that, there's no number attached to that. Now I know, how many G's that was, and then I can equate G's to pain,
Yeah.
And you might get scared at that moment, though.
Yeah, but see, this is information that is presented to the viewers at home. We have this Intel Curie Module on our helmet. I think the bike guys put it on their bikes, but it's a really lightweight. I don't even feel it on. That's one of the main things. You can't really, if it was heavy a little bit, you can really wear it, but it's completely wearable. You don't notice it there. And, it translates the data, how fast we're going, how many spins, did we just do a 720 or a 900, or, was it a 540? And, for us, we kind of get an idea when we're watching. I can kind of tell, but sometimes you get a little confused. But people at home, they might not know a 710 from a 360, and you're looking at it.
It always starts to look the same. I even tell people.
Yeah, he's like, wow, he's spun a lot,
Yeah, he's
that was a lot of spinning. But now you get that. Now you get the number. You'll get how fast we're going. You'll get how high we're going. I mean, the height and all the things are approximate, and there's a science of spinning. It's like we know it's a 720, but it could read off as a 715, but we slid in, So there's these little numbers, but you'll know how much, we're spinning. So I think that's the exciting part is enhancing that experience at home.
Yeah, definitely gets the judging more precise as well, which isn't a good thing, because it's easy to mix up like a 720 and a 715. Like, did he really make that full access? So no one's mad at you guys for not having that.
Exactly. 715, or I mean, if it's a 700, you can tell because you didn't make it.
Yeah,
you didn't spin all the way and not riding away.
Hey, Bob.
But it's good numbers to have.
That's awesome. Hey, Bob. So, how many jumps do you predict? I mean, we're talking a lot of years for you that you've done on the mega ramp, because you have one at home. So,
oh my God, yes.
There was a little bit of a number going around
here.
It's
got to be in the thousands. I don't know what sometimes I remember one day I counted, that I jumped 80 times. Whatever we were jumping.
And that was one day.
That's one session. No, it was one day. It could have been like was like on the average maybe it's like 40 because we don't skate so intensely all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
40 to 50 is. I can when I'm home here I'll skate like 2, 3, maybe 4 times a week. And then so you start adding that up. It's definitely in the thousands. And I have to predict that I've jumped the mega ramp a lot more than most guys, even though a lot of guys come here and practice with me and skate all the time. There were a few years where it was mostly myself just filming, because not everyone would come skate. They're into other things, or you call them to skate mega, they skate once. They're like, oh, okay, that's good. just kind of slowly ease into it. So it's definitely, well, I wish that I had the Intel Curie since the first jump, because I've had that data precise and tell you.
You can track it, have it in a little thumb drive.
Yeah. Bob, you doing the mega ramp is crazy, because even when I'm at a bowl, there's something in my mind where I have to step back because I feel like I'm going to fall. So your level of mega is crazy, but we hear extreme-wise, you also like to jump out of planes, and you even have your helicopter's license?
Yes, I have an airplane license, a helicopter license, and like skydive or whatever, parachute. I've been doing it since 2003. About 2000, I started flying. I've always loved flying since I was a kid. I was super into the air, and I just always wanted to become a pilot. And becoming a professional skateboarder and living in California and moving out from Brazil kind of gave me the opportunity to, skate and fly around. It was always something that was like, okay, I can skate all day long, but, I need that. I need to learn. I need mentally, physically I'm progressing, but intellectually, like, how am I doing? It's like I kind of took the pilot's license as a challenge outside of skating, and just kind of like helped me learn mechanics and the climate.
That's awesome, because so much I would say so much in action sports, especially in skateboarding, from the street scene, you get so much of, they're just a bunch of punk kids, they're just doing whatever they're going to do. No one looks deep into the actual skaters. Outside of like Tony Hawk, people get to look into the back end of their lifestyle. But to hear so many different things about your nonprofit, what you do with the organic growing, then looking into you saying, hey, you want to further your education and getting the pilot license. Like, that's not an easy step whatsoever. I wanted to be a pilot, and I realized that wouldn't work out good being scared of heights. So I left that alone. But you, on the other hand, have been continuously pushing.
It's great. It's really about progression. And in skateboarding, we progress learning new tricks, and in life we progress learning new tricks. I mean, I want to learn this new thing. I mean, it's like, if you stand on that sameness, it just kind of, life becomes boring. You got to step outside the box. You got to be outside your comfort zone as much as you possibly can. And to be honest with you, like, really flying, skydiving, and all those things, when I started skating mega ramp, the skydiving, it's parachute up in the air is very three-dimensional. The awareness has to be 360. You got people all around you. You're flying. You're like flying upside down. You're flying right side up. So, when I'm going and skating mega ramp, and I end up upside down and I got to fall, I know where I am. I spin around real quick, and there I am. I learned to deal with the relative wind. Obviously, being a pilot.
Yeah.
You get all these things. The wind's crosswind, all this stuff, and you're looking around. I started approaching mega ramp as a pilot. I mean, there's things.
That's crazy.
Something's wrong on my board. Something I check my board every time I go. I don't just go.
To reduce the drag and everything. So you got to be smart about that, man. That's,
all those things. You're adjusting as you go. It's all those things, and that's what's exciting about to be honest, the X Games doing this with Intel and the Curie Module is that to me as a pilot, it brings data and it's like, oh well, I'd love to know what that is, and I think that the progression of the data will be real time.
Wow.
Right now,
wait, Bob, I'm sorry. You are like taking all of the coolness out of you being a professional skateboarder in my mind right now. And I just want to reduce that smartness that you keep on dropping of this knowledge and just dumb it down. 1 second. The question I have in mind with all of these skateboarders coming up. So now, I mean, I watched Alex Sargente since he was 10 years old. Skating and seeing him right now, creeping into 18 and taking the sport as a whole. And these young kids are pushing the sport progressively. But then you have the guys like you and Tony Hawk. Where do you see, there's no way to know the age of where you can stop skateboarding or the mega ramp and the impact on your body. Where do you see, you guys are going to be the first people to really get into that generational linkage to skateboarding to see where the impact? How do you feel your health is? Where do you put that in your thoughts sometimes when you're just looking at there's no one that's done what you guys have done ever in history, Right.
Well, I try not to think about it. I just kind of go and I skate and I make sure I'm active and I, get my workouts in, I get my skating in, I stretch, and it's kind of my lifestyle that I've always had. I eat right, try to make sure I'm, taking care of this body I have that's giving me all this fun, so I'm like, okay, how can I, and all this progression, all these experiences. I obviously look at Tony and go, wow, he's always been a guy, someone to look up to and be like, well, as long as Tony keeps going, I look at him, he keeps progressing, He's not competing, and every now and then he competes and he goes out to some events, some of these bowl events and stuff, but he's still progressing. We go out there and we skate his warehouse and to get ready for Burt, and most guys are there. He comes out and skates, he puts out video parts, and it's like, well, if Tony's going, I'll keep going. So in a way,
so that's the map right now.
Yeah, that's my math. I don't know
Wow.
what his math is.
He has nobody. Good job.
Fine.
Good job, Bob.
Yeah. So, see, that's a lot harder, right? I mean, you got no one around. You got people around you, everyone telling you, hey, you're old and you can't progress. And you're going like,
yeah, whatever,
I'm old, but I am progressing, and it feels great, and and you use that experience. So,
and Bob, a big thank you, because I mean, we're big, supporters of action sports, skateboarding. I mean, not everyone likes to bring light to it, but thank you for keeping it in such a positive light. And being someone for these kids to look up to, and the Chad Tepper and Adam Taylor were like, make sure you tell them, hey, tell them my name, So
oh, right on. Yeah, that's way cool.
And we love the support.
Right on back.
There you go. And whenever you're in Orlando, you've always got a chair at our studio to come in and show us some moves and for real. And we're on your team, Austin, all the way, baby.
Well, we'll put the Intel Curie on the head and spin a bunch in that chair, and we'll do moves on the chair and see how.
Yeah, it will move nowhere. That will be the movement.
We look forward to seeing how the Intel actually makes a difference this time, because it'll be a totally different way of watching it. So we're excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to
see
it.
Well, thank you for getting up for us.
Awesome,
Thanks for the time, and go Team Bob Burnquist. Brigado.
All right, there he goes.
And don't forget to download the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, even iHeartRadio. Just search Kevin Sutton Show, and for you iPhone users, just make sure you rate and subscribe. 5 stars, please, baby.